Welcome to Gaming with the Family. This is Aldo Hernandez. Glad to have you all back for our second episode. We're going to have a little bit of an introduction again like we did last time, just because it's been a couple of weeks and a lot has gone on since then. I'm a father of 4 amazing kids. I'm 42 years old, and I'm 41 years old, and I've been really into gaming lately, and I know the kids have been as well. This show is just to talk about the things that we like to do, especially video games, board games, and then some of the movies or anime or cartoons that we watch. Everyone's going to introduce themselves again so that we know what your name is and how old you are. All right. First, we're going to start with...
Mayumi. I'm Mayumi.
And how old are you?
13.
No, you're not 13 yet.
Well, you round up.
You're turning 13 this week. You're turning 13 this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited?
No.
No? You're going to be a teenager? That's not very exciting?
No.
No? Okay. What are you wanting for your birthday?
I don't really want anything. I just want money.
Just money?
Well, because I'm not going to ask for nothing. That's going to be a waste.
Yeah. All right. So we heard from Mayumi. Next, tell us your name and how old you are.
Nessie.
Say it again.
Nessie.
And how old are you, Ynez?
3.
3 years old? And you like to play video games?
Yes.
Ah, awesome. Next.
I'm Inigo. I'm Inigo.
And how old are you?
7.
Wow, 7 years old. And last but not least, we have...
Jairo.
How old are you, Jairo?
9.
9 years old. All right, well, that's the crew here. My lovely wife, Maria, is not joining us. She's not really a big gamer, though she'll play with us sometimes. Her favorite games are Tetris, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and Mario Kart. And Fortune Street, which is a Wii game. That's one of her favorite games as well. But we haven't been playing that one lately, so she's not going to be part of today's episode. But maybe when we play those games with her, she'll talk about how much she likes them. So next we're going to talk about what we've been playing lately. So we'll start off with Mayumi. Mayumi, what have you been playing lately? And tell us. I know we're going to talk to you later about what you have been playing in more detail, but just kind of give us a few little tidbits of what you've been doing on your game this last few weeks.
I've been playing Genshin Impact again, and I've basically just been doing the Windblume Festival and having fun with that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the Windblume Festival and how that's going. And Ynez, what have you been playing lately? Do you want to help her, Inigo? What have you and Ynez been playing lately?
Mario Party.
Mario Party?
No. Can I play the Toad thing?
Toad Treasure Tracker?
Yeah, I want to play Tetris. And we're playing Lava Game. Well, actually, the only games we were playing lately was Odyssey, was Super Mario Odyssey, Zombie Kids, Super Smash Bros, 3D World, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, that's a lot of games. We've been playing that in the last couple of weeks. Usually they play a lot on the weekends, not so much during the weekday. But yeah, Treasure Tracker we played just recently, and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, they've been playing a little bit of that as well. And Jairo, what have you been playing? Tell us what you've been playing lately.
I've been playing Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Ultra Sun, and Bowser's Fury.
Cool. And what about Pokemon Ultra Sun. Tell us where you're at in that game and kind of what's going on with that.
I'm at Kiawe's trial.
What's going on in Pokemon Ultra Sun? Like, what's the whole story about that? Like, what's the theme of the game? Like, what is going on in it? Like, how did it start? That type of stuff.
Well, you, at the beginning, you're at your house.
Right. But kind of tell us more about, like, what is the overall purpose of the game? Like, what is the main person trying to do? Is Ash the main character?
No.
Right. So tell us, like, who the main character is and what they're trying to do in the game.
The main character, well, there's more than one main character.
Only two.
There's Hal, Lily, and the person who's playing. It's just the person who's playing.
What's the name of the person who's playing? Did they have a name or do you give them a name?
I think their original names, I think their default names were Sun and Moon, but you can rename them.
What's the name of your character?
Kai.
And so what are you supposed to do? Like, what's Kai supposed to be doing in the game?
Doing the trials on each island. Because you're doing the island challenge.
What is the island challenge?
Getting all the Z crystals.
What are the Z crystals?
Crystals.
Mayumi, maybe you can help explain what. So he's playing Ultra Sun, which is one of the Pokemon games on the 3DS, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us like what's it about? He said it was
Like the overall objective.
yeah. What's the overall objective of the game?
Well, with like most of the Pokemon games in the main series, you're supposed to be working towards becoming the champion of that region. With Sun and Moon, it's more of a plot-driven game, like one of the more plot-driven games instead of the regular gym battles that you used to have in like with Sword and Shield. You have island challenges instead, where you do more than just battle. Of course, that's the same with other gyms, I think, except a bit more different. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it since I've never really played the other older Pokemon games. But basically, you start out as one of the main characters. As Jairo said, the default names are Sun and Moon, or you could pick your own. It basically starts out as any other Pokemon game. You wake up in your house, and you get to pick your starter and stuff. And then as you progress, you meet the antagonist, and you meet the supporting characters like Lily and Hal. And then you just go on with your island challenges until you.
So we don't want to spoil it, but like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying like to save the world? You're trying to help anyone, or you're just competing through the trials?
Well, I mean, if you've played any other Pokemon games, you could probably get an idea of what you're trying to do. Of course, you're trying to become the champion of the region, but there's always something that goes on with the region, where the region needs saving or the world needs saving, so something like that.
Okay, cool. So where are you at in the game, Jairo?
Kiawe's trial.
And what's going on there? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, who is Kiawe?
Kiawe is a person.
I know. Go more detail.
Can you give us a little bit more detail? Like, how did you meet him? Like, what is he in the game?
What do you mean by what is he?
Like, is he the main character you're supposed to be playing against?
No.
What's his role in the game?
I don't really know his role in the game. What?
Okay. So do you know what you're trying to do in the game at all?
Yes. I'm trying to defeat the totem Pokemon.
Who's the totem Pokemon?
I don't know the Marowak.
So do you know, like, are you in the middle of the game, kind of at the beginning, at the end? Do you know where you're at?
Around the beginning.
Okay, cool. So how are you liking it?
A lot.
What do you like about it?
The legendaries and ultra beasts.
Cool. So what else are you playing besides Pokemon Ultra Sun?
Pokemon Sword and Bowser's Fury.
So where are you at with Pokemon Sword?
I finished the main game, but I'm doing the Crown Tundra and the Isle of Armor right now.
You're trying to, I guess there's a plot there. We don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it yet, but on Pokemon Sword, you're trying to, what's the other one?
The Isle of Armor.
Isle of Armor. Those are DLCs, right? So those you have to download those. Those are extra. On Crown Tundra, what is the goal there?
To get the legendaries from earlier games.
And what about Isle of Armor?
To basically to help evolve Cubfu.
So how are you liking it?
A lot.
Yeah. And then the last game that you said you played these last 2 weeks is Bowser's Fury, which is part of the Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. That's the new content that they made. So what do you like? How do you like that? Where are you at in that game?
I like it, and I am around the beginning.
And what's the goal there? I know that you're trying to help one of Bowser's kids do something.
You're supposed to help. Bowser Jr. helps you, or you help it, Bowser Jr., and you're supposed to put Bowser back into his normal state.
Yeah, so that's a fun game, and I know every time we play that, Ynez always hides because she gets scared of the Kaiju Bowser. What's his name? Does he have a special name?
I think it was Fury Bowser.
Fury Bowser. So I know she always hides because she gets scared when he pops out, right, Inigo?
Yes. And also, if you have a mushroom or any other power-ups, but not a star, just 2 blocks on each other, or 1 big block could block all Fury Bowser's fire. Just 1 block. But if you lost the mushroom, just a little block could save you from all that fire. Just a block.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk to Inigo and Ynez about the games. Inigo can give us all his tips about what's going on there. So what have I been playing? Let's see. Oh, we forgot to tell everyone we played a new board game called Zombie Kids. And Jairo doesn't like zombies, but the game was actually pretty fun. It was pretty easy to play. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more also when Inigo and Ynez have their little kitty corner time. I played a little bit of Genshin Impact. I really didn't do much, but I did, what is that challenge where you get the Kentucky Fried Chicken meal or something?
It wasn't a challenge. It was just the login event. It's already over.
Yeah, so that was interesting that they had a event where you could, or a login challenge where you could get some type of Kentucky Fried Chicken meal that you can cook in the game. So that's pretty cool. Also, I played a little bit of Trails in the Sky, the first game. I've always heard a lot of good things about it. It's part of the Legend of Heroes series that Falcom made. So I played that. That was interesting. I love the music of Falcom games, like Ys 8 especially. That was one that I really liked. I played some Shield, Pokemon Shield. Trying to get a little bit further in the game. I'm trying to kind of catch up with Jairo through the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. One thing that I have been playing a lot of recently is Pokemon Go. I heard a little while back that with Pokemon Go, if you collect the Pokemon that you get there, you can transfer them to Pokemon Sword or Shield through Pokemon Home. So I signed myself up and Jairo up for Pokemon Home, and we were able to transfer some of our Pokemon over from Pokemon Go. So I got a few. When you sign up for Pokemon Home, you actually get all of the starters from the Pokemon Sword and Shield game. So now I have all the starters, and I transfer those over. You get a Pikachu, and you get a Melmetal. So those are all pretty good Pokemon. I wasn't able to transfer all my Pokemon because there's some that aren't in the game that you can't transfer over. And then Legendaries, I think it was, that you cannot transfer those unless you actually have them already in the game or have had them at some point. So that was kind of a bummer because I have a Kyogre and a Zapdos that I wanted to transfer over, but they wouldn't transfer. But that's what I've been playing lately. The next thing we're going to talk about is Mayumi's Corner. And we're going to talk about Genshin Impact, of course. After that, we're going to talk to Ynez and Inigo and have our kitty corner and talk about what games they've been playing. we're going to follow that up with Jairo and his anime corner, and we're going to have a guest today on that part. Inigo is going to join us because he wants to also talk about the anime Pokemon journeys. That's what we've been watching. And then last, I am going to talk about the news. So the things I've been doing, maybe some of my gaming pickups, just things that I've been interested in recently as well. So that's what I'll be talking about at the end of the show. Stay tuned for the next part. All right, we are with Mayumi. It's Mayumi's moment. As last week, we are going to talk about Genshin Impact. That's the game that she's really into, and she's going to give us an update of where she's at in the game and what she likes about it. Hey, Mayumi, how's it been going these last couple of weeks?
It's been going fine. Recently, I've been taking part in the Windblume Festival. I recently finished all of the quests for it, so now I'm just trying to do the more of like the activities, like especially right now, since it's ending very soon. The festival's ending very soon, so I don't have much more time to like do the festivities. So right now, I'm trying to like get the refinement materials for one of the featured weapons in the game that you can get for free.
So tell me, what is the Windblume Festival like? Is there a story behind it?
Well, yeah, you get to like explore that more with the quest. Basically, it's one of the festivals in Mond. It's like the how to explain.
And what is Mond again?
Mondstadt is like the main place you start off at. Like it's the first city you go to. It has like it's like the place of the Anemo Archon and everything. And so basically, the Windblume Festival is supposed to celebrate like him and the freedom of Mond, and that's basically what it is. And everyone just goes out to party and drink and stuff.
So the Windblume Festival, that's different from when you got your new characters, right? You got Venti. Was that all part of the Windblume Festival, like the beginning of it, or is that something different?
Well, it's different. It's separate from the Windblume Festival, but it's part of the 1.4 update. So those, like getting the Venti banner, it was just a banner. It wasn't necessarily part of the Windblume Festival.
And the Windblume Festival, does it have its own like separate story? Are there things that go on in there, like its own, I guess how you say, kind of lore? Like is Venti part of that story in any way? Or there like which characters are there any main characters that are part of the story of the Windblume Festival, or is it just kind of an event?
Well, you don't have to play. You don't have to play the You don't have to participate in the Windblume Festival in order to understand any of the lore of the main game. It's really just an event. Of course, if you play it, then you might get to know some of the characters better. For example, in the Lantern Rite, which was one of the event featured in the 1.3 update, you could get to hang out with one of the characters that you'll meet later in the game, and with I think the 1.2 update, which I unfortunately didn't get to participate in, you met one of the other characters, and you even got a free weapon with it too.
So besides the Windblume, so where are you at with the Windblume event? Are you almost like at the end of it? Have you been able to complete it, or is it just something that you're supposed to check in like every day or something like that?
Well, it's something you have to actively participate in. It's not really a login event. It has its own quests and festivities. And it's actually, of course, we don't have any other events that have come out like as of 1.4, and there's no guaranteed events like these in the future updates. Like there's nothing official. It's basically you have the quests and then you have the festivities, and then I've already completed all of the quests. I've completed a lot of the festivities of part of it, like the balloon popping thing with the archers. I've completed all of the floral freefall. I couldn't really get into the Osu type part of it, where you play with the lyre and try to get all the correct notes and stuff. It was kind of hard, so I didn't really complete it. I only did enough as to get the limited time gadgets and stuff, like the lyre and the balloon. And then they have this other thing that for the Windblume Festival called Peculiar Wonderland, where you can like participate in these fun little mini games and then beat a boss at the end. Yeah.
Are any of those events co-op, or can you play with people like online, or is it really just a single player type of thing that you do on there?
Well, the quests themselves, you have to complete them by yourself, but things like Peculiar Wonderland and the like playing the lyre together or doing the balloon popping stuff, that kind of stuff you can do together.
But have you been playing any online with any other people online during the event?
No.
No. So what besides the Windblume event, what else have you been doing on Genshin Impact?
Well, there isn't anything other than that I've been doing because I've just been since I don't get to play very often. I try to like get everything. I tried to do everything I could, especially since the Windblume Festival is limited. But other than that, what I'm trying to start doing, especially after I'm done getting all the refinement materials for the free weapon, I'm trying to get ascension materials for Venti. I'm trying to get some EXP books because I'm running short, and also trying to get more and more.
So the Ascension thing that helps you like get your characters stronger, right? Your
Right.
players stronger. So that's something that's important to do. What was the other thing was the login event, I think is what you and I were talking about earlier in the episode. In the login event, you could all you have to do is log in every each of the 6 days.
You don't even have to play.
Yeah, you don't have to play. You just log in and then you just click on the particular reward that you get for the day. And as I mentioned earlier in the episode, what I thought was pretty cool was the fried chicken. So isn't there like some correlation with or connection with Kentucky Fried Chicken and Genshin Impact?
Yeah, recently, although I just want to say that the login event has already passed. You can't really participate in it anymore. But like a few months or a few weeks ago, MiHoYo, the company that made Genshin Impact, they did a collaboration with KFC, and so KFC would advertise Genshin, and Genshin would advertise KFC. That's basically what they did.
What if KFC here in the US had like Genshin Impact stuff? Would you like want us to go and get some KFC and see if you can get some of those cool things that like were they giving like KFC themed cups and all that type of stuff, or was it just like on the TV advertising?
Well, I mean, I don't know because that stuff it was only a Chinese thing, so it was only in China. So I don't really know if they did anything anywhere else. I do know for sure though that they did those little cutouts and they stand in like the restaurants or something. That's really all I know that they did.
Maybe we can get one of those. That'd be kind of cool. What else is going on with Genshin? Any news? Anything to look forward to in the next few weeks? What are you planning on doing or anticipating doing? I know we want to try to play tonight a little bit of co-op because I think you said there's something you wanted to like a battle or something you wanted to try to get together on. I know another reason Mayumi's been playing a little less is because recently we found out that her laptop, even though it can play the game pretty well, it's not meant to be playing it for hours and hours on end. So one of the last times we played together, her computer just kind of turned off her laptop, and I guess it overheated from playing the game too long. So just an FYI, anyone out there who is playing that game on their laptop, if it's not a gaming laptop, you definitely want to take it a little easy, especially if your kid's playing it a lot. But I think for her laptop, we determined probably a couple of hours a day at most is not too much strain on that laptop. But in the future, we might have to look at other ways if she wants to play it more, just something that's a little bit more powerful. But going back to what you're looking forward to in the next couple of weeks or what you're working toward now, give us some updates on that.
Well, they recently dropped the Contending Tides event. It's part of the 1.4 update. So basically, it's like these battles you can do, I think. I can't pronounce it, but it's that place. It's that place where you can find the electro hypothesis. It's in that area where with like the big pot and
Hold
stuff.
on, you just said you can't pronounce that, but then you just said electro hypothesis or something.
Well, no, I can't pronounce the place that the electro hypothesis is in. But if you look on the map, then if you know where the electro hypothesis is, then you know where the contending of tides event is going to be held. So like it recently dropped, and there are basically some battles and tests you can do, and you can gain a lot of prizes from them. Like you can gain primo gems, and of course that's a very important resource, especially if you're wanting to wish on banners and stuff like that. So that's what I'm probably going to be trying to do, probably sometime around next weekend or maybe tomorrow if I have the time.
Yeah, but I think tonight you said you wanted to try to battle. What was it called?
It was called an Oceanid, and the reason I wanted to play on co-op is because Oceanids are really hard, especially the first time I tried. I died like after just like probably a few minutes. And since you're like a lower level than me, like way lower, that means that the Oceanids are going to be lower level, so it's going to be easier to fight.
Yeah, so my goal is to get to level 20. I'm still at level 18. I haven't really moved much since the last time we played. So I need to get to level 20 so I can participate in maybe some of the newer events. And then, like Mayumi mentioned, it's where she can play when we play together. Since I guess I'm at a lower level, the opponents are at a lower level as well. So it's a lot easy for her to kill those characters or monsters or whatever. And I know when I'm playing with her, like I usually, die and I have to restart, and then she's still fighting. So it's also a good thing for the lower level players because the stronger players can go in and help you, get some things pretty quickly where it would have taken you probably a long time grinding and battling and probably dying and having to come start over again if you didn't have that help. So the co-op is helpful, and I think you said you can play like up to 4 people, and at it right you can have a 4-player co-op, but you can only have 2 people in your team or party per person, right? That you can play with.
Well, it depends. Say if you're playing with 2 people, then you can have 2 people in your party. But if you have if you're doing a 4 people co-op, then you can only have 1 person.
Yeah, so we're still having fun with it. Limiting the game time play, but yeah, the events are still interesting for her. Still a lot of fun. We might need to look at if she's gonna play longer time frame. Maybe looking at a gaming PC. So if anyone has any feedback on maybe some good entry level gaming PCs, please, reach out. You can find us on Discord, Facebook. You can send me an email. Any tips on some maybe good starter gaming PCs? Another option, a little cheaper option, is to go with a PS4. And if anyone has any experience playing Genshin Impact on PS4, let us know. I heard that it's not a very good experience. Maybe a PS4 Pro is better, but it still allows her to play longer, and it doesn't, hurt or impact the laptop that she uses for school and for her artwork.
Yeah, I've heard that the PS4 it doesn't really have the best graphics. Like it's better on like a PC. Yeah.
Yeah, the PS4 Pro will probably be better, but yeah, I think we're leaning more towards a gaming PC. So that might be interesting. Maybe I'm actually really interested in a gaming PC specifically to play some of the games that are more expensive on like physical games, and I'll talk about that in the news. But there's some games that I really want that I can't get uh, unless I get them from Steam or from GOG or emulation. I don't think my laptop also, when I tried emulating something before, my laptop wasn't able to handle it. So I was thinking about getting a gaming PC as well, but those are really hard to come by because of all the cryptocurrency stuff. It's, making the PCs, computers, and graphics cards really expensive and really hard to find. That might be something that you might hear on some of the future episodes. maybe Mayumi and I will try to build a gaming PC, and we'll let you all know how that goes. Any final words or thoughts on Genshin Impact?
Not really, but just a reminder. Be careful with your resources. Again, very, very important. I think it was on Thursday. I'd been trying to ascend one of my characters. I'd finally gotten all of the materials, and then I'd go to ascend, but you know what? Don't have any more Mora. I need like 80,000, and I'm like, only have like 11,000 Mora. So, careful with your Mora. Don't become broke.
And Mora is like the gold, right?
Yeah.
The money.
It's the in-game currency and like the store and everything.
Yeah, and then just be careful also on your wishes, because I'm not really big into wishing. I'm fine with the party or team that I have already. Sometimes, it's always, they say it's best to wish in tens, like wait till you have 10 wishes, because then you'll get a character.
Well,
And I was like, well, I have 4 wishes. Let me just wish these 4, and I wished them each, and I didn't really. I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get a character because why not? But it didn't happen. So I think for me, just wishing in tens, at least you get the satisfaction of possibly getting a character, or even if it's the same character you have, you can use that character to ascend one of your players. Not ascend. What do you do?
You can get constellation.
Oh, get a constellation. But and I don't. Maybe you can explain the constellations maybe further on that. But yeah, you don't get as much satisfaction wishing one by one. I would just recommend waiting till you get 10 or more wishes, and then doing like a big wish there. That way you kind of, I guess, feel a little bit more gratification in getting some type of weapon or player that you maybe would have liked more than just the one-off wishes.
Yeah, it's not mandatory that you wish in tens. Really, the only reason why it would be better, or I guess more satisfactory to wish in tens, is that every 10 pulls you are guaranteed a 4-star character or weapon. So then at least if you wish in like one pulls, it's more time consuming, and you may not get a character. You might have to wait a bit longer. So it's really more, I think, just the satisfaction of knowing you will at least get something 4-star. So yeah.
So that is Mayumi's moment. That's Genshin Impact. We'll move on to the anime corner with Jairo. Thanks, Mayumi. Alright, welcome back to Gaming with the Family. We're going to talk to Ynez and Inigo. This is the kitty corner. What have the little ones been up to? Ynez, 3 years old. Inigo is 7. And we're going to talk about what you all have been playing lately and what you think about those games. What game do you all want to talk about first?
Toad Treasure.
Toad Treasure Tracker?
No, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. What is that game about?
So Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 1, 2, and 3 are in the same cartridge. So what you want to do? So in the first one, you want to save Toadette from Wingo. Then on the second one, you want to save Toad from Wingo. Then the last one, you want to save Toadette again from Wingo, and you want to get the stars to win. But when you get to the star, Wingo, if it's Toadette will fall on her backpack. If it's Toad getting captured, Toadette will Toad's sting on his head will fall. And the other one tries to get the star, but Wingo just carries them with the star.
So Toad is the main character, right?
No, Toad and Toadette. But if you play
So you guys play 1 player or do you play 2 player?
2 player, but when you play 2 player, instead of Toad and Toadette, it's Toad and a purple Toad.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Ynez and Inigo love playing video games together, and they usually play 2 player, or they'll take turns on the 1 player. Ynez, what do you like about playing Toad Treasure Tracker?
Oh, she got a rude.
I know, but with Toad Treasure Tracker, what do you like about that game?
Toad Treasure Tracker.
I
Toad Treasure.
Toad and the and the purple one.
The Purple
Purple
Toad and
Toad.
Toadette? Yeah, so you guys have a lot of fun with that game. And Inigo, you beat the game already, right?
Yeah. Well, I beat the normal game, but I haven't beat the bonus.
You haven't beat the bonus parts yet. Yeah, that's a fun game. That's a game that I know I like playing it. And you have to move. With your controller, you're moving the play area around, so it gets to be really challenging, and it's a really fun puzzle game. So I definitely recommend that. Like my Ynez likes it. You know, she's 3 years old. She does okay at it, but she definitely needs help. And Inigo, my 7-year-old, he was playing it when he was 6 as well. So I think that's a good game for like a 4, 5, 6-year-old age range, especially if they have someone helping them. What game do you want to talk about next? Yoshi's Crafted World?
Oh, my party.
You want to talk about Mario Party? We didn't play a lot of Mario Party these last 2 weeks, but I know that's your favorite game, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Didn't you play that?
I did, but you didn't play on Smash Bros.
Yes, because I was fighting her, but Jairo and me took turns. But when Jairo was Kirby, he thought he was the other Kirby, so he's trying to go to the other Kirby, but then he moved off the plate because if you see him, this is right out there. So there's plate, there's side A and side B. But Jairo was on side B, and Ynez was on side A. But Jairo thought he was on side B. Well, he thought he was on side A. So when he went to side B, since he was already on side B, he fell off the plate, and then Nancy won.
Yeah. We haven't played too much Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but I think Inigo, for some reason, he's been really getting into it lately. You've been playing the story as well, haven't you?
Yes, story.
How do you like the story?
Great. But I forgot how to get to the one where there's no teams. Everyone against everyone. I can't find where to go there. But I do know where to go to story mode. But on story mode, you could only play one player. And what you're trying to do in story mode is make all the good ones lose their shadow thems and go back to normal so they won't be trapped.
Kirby game. So we're going to do Chicken the Road on the Smash Bros. And then I was going to, and I fought up and then Hara wins.
And Haro won. Yeah, you like all the games, but that's one of the ones that I think the kids are going to get into more lately. We'll probably all try to play. I know when we try to play 4-player, it gets really crazy, right? And it's hard to know like who's doing what. And we haven't played too much 1 versus 1 player, but I think they're going to start getting into the story mode. That seems like it's pretty fun. I played a little bit of the story mode, and it's not too bad. That's not really my cup of tea. I think the kids, though, they're really going to get into that game.
I want to beat all the games we have on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's a lot of games, so we'll see how many we get to beat this year. That's always our goal, right? To try to beat the games we have before we go on to new ones. They also play a little bit of Super Mario Odyssey. That one's pretty fun. I don't know if we talked about that last week, but maybe we'll talk about it. Do y'all want to say anything about Super Mario Brothers Odyssey?
There's no Super Mario Brothers Odyssey. It's just Super Mario
Mario Odyssey. So what you're trying to do is save Princess Peach from Bowser. And you want to defeat all the bosses, like someone who puts out Goombas everywhere, Bowser, and you need to fight Bowser 2 times. And you want to fight all the other bunnies.
Yeah, and then you are looking for moons as well, right?
Yes. And also, Cappy will help you turn Cappy will help you turn into the monsters. And well, wait, what?
Yeah, and Cappy. So one person can be Mario, and the other person can be Cappy, and Ynez and Inigo take turns being each. And then there's also the assisted mode, I think it's called, or guided mode, where he has arrows and it tells the kids it tells you where to go in the game. So for the younger kids, that's really nice, so they know where to go, so they can get through the game, because it's like an open world game, so you can go wherever you want. And if you don't have that guided mode, then the kids can probably kind of get lost in there. But you and Jairo beat it together, I think early last year or something like that, and you all got through it pretty quickly for the time that you all played it, so you had a good time with that. Also, you all played a little bit of Yoshi's Crafted World. You want to say anything about that game today? No? Yes. What do you? So, do you like Yoshi's Crafted World?
Yes.
What do you do in that game?
You fight each other.
In Yoshi's Crafted World, you fight each other?
No, you don't fight each other. You fight Shy Guys.
You fight Shy Guys, okay.
Yeah, and we fight Yoshi's with our tongue.
You stick out your tongue, and then you eat the Shy Guys, and then you spit them out?
No. And then choke them. And then we eat Yoshi's because Yoshi's are our friend.
Oh yeah, Yoshi's are our friend.
And from one place that there's all the Yoshis eating us. Well, it's only up to 2 players. Wait. And then
Yeah, it's a 2-player game, so you both can play. Right, one person can be a green Yoshi, and one person can be like a purple Yoshi.
Red Yoshi.
Yeah, red Yoshi, whatever color Yoshi. And y'all have some Yoshi stuffed toys too, right? What colors do y'all have?
I have purple. I have purple.
You have purple Yoshi?
Purple Yoshi, and Jairo has pink Yoshi. And Jairo has Yoshi. I have Mario. And you have Luigi too. Daddy, we're not talking about Mario again.
Yeah. So they have the stuffed toys. They love playing Yoshi's Crafted World. That's another game that both of the boys beat. Jairo and Inigo beat Yoshi's Crafted World.
No, I haven't even started.
Oh, you haven't started it yet? I thought you beat that one.
Started.
Okay, Jairo beat that one.
Jairo.
That was his birthday gift, I think, or Christmas gift. And he really likes that game. But all the kids like to play that one. And again, that's another good one for your younger kids. 3, 4, 5-year-olds can definitely get into that one and play that one pretty well. And the last game I think we'll talk about for the Kitty Corner today, the last video game at least, will be 3D World. You all played a little bit of 3D World, Super Mario Brothers 3D World again this week. How did it go? Did you get any further in the game? Were you just playing co-op?
We need from Yoshi, and from Yoshi and Nara, we fight Bowser. Because Bowser has all and because Bowser has all the recipes and all the courses, and he brings them there, so we can make all princess bad.
We're talking about Super Mario Brothers 3D World.
What's the game we're talking about again?
We're talking about Super Mario Brothers 3D World.
Super Mario Brothers 3D World?
Yeah, you and Ynez played a little bit these last couple of weeks, right? Did you get any further along in the game?
Yeah. That's with me. But also, Nancy doesn't really Well, you're not trying to save Princess Peach. You're trying to save the fairies. And also you could and also the people you could play, the ones you could play are Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach.
So you're playing that. Did you get any further along in the game? Are you getting closer to beating it?
No.
No.
Because I just started it.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then you guys like to play co-op, but you really can't get very far because I know sometimes it gets frustrating, right? Playing with your little sister and she wants to do something, but you want to do something else.
Because I'm first player. Yeah, so from its end, they were playing, then they were playing, and Kirby, the Kirby world. So the bomber one was trying to fight Kirby with a bomb.
Those are the games that they've been playing. We did play a little bit of we played a board game called Zombie Kids, and that was a lot of fun.
And Dad.
Oh, you want to talk about something else, Ynez?
And then my friend ate and I said check out doing anything for the check. He went in the door and someone was right there on me. And then I went to another door because I heard the bomber one and Nico was playing with me because we're in a group and Nico was the bomber one. And Nico now it's trying to eat the night and I couldn't because the night was my friend.
Yeah, you was with your friend.
I think my friend. I think my neighbor. Anyway, and I wanted to go to pee and like that and so and I take the baby Inigo and I put him into the snow one. That's what I did.
That's what you did? Okay. All right, we're going to talk about Zombie Kids. That's a new board game that we got that the kids we had a lot of fun playing. But before we do that, let's make sure we have Mayumi and Jairo as well, so that way we can all talk about it and see what we all thought about it. Another game that we played the last couple of weeks was called Zombie Kids. It's a board game, a four-player board game that we played, and I heard some great reviews about it. So we got a chance to try it out this last weekend, and we had a really good time. Zombie Kids, it's about, I guess, 4 kids who are stuck in a school, right?
Uh-huh.
What are they trying to do, Jairo?
They're trying to lock out the zombies.
Yeah, so there's zombies that are trying to get in, some are like right outside the school, and some are outside of the playboard, the game board, and they're trying to get in. So every time you roll the dice, a zombie goes inside the school.
But if it gets to the white, no zombies get in.
Yeah, so there's sometimes where zombies don't get in, but the objective is for the kids. There's 4 kids in the middle of the game board, and they're trying to get to each of the locks on the school and trying to the gates and trying to lock the gates. So
you need 2 people to lock the gate.
What was that?
You need 2 people to lock the gate.
Yeah, so you need 2 people to lock the gate, and we all played, all 5 of us. Ynez took turns. One time she was on my team, and then one time Ynez was playing with Jairo, so we were able to play 4-player, and we had kind of a team scenario in some cases.
From we go and put down, we're on another team. When we're all on the same place, zombies are coming to we go somewhere else and not my friend they're there and then we lock them all, and when we lock them all someone else can win. Even the rest of them and from they're both on the red space where we can walk when we're starting. Kirby and Kirby.
Wait, Kirby? There's no Kirby in Zombie Kids.
No, where we do all the games.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about Zombie Kids some more and kind of see what everyone thought about the game. So Jairo doesn't like zombies at all, so he really didn't want to play. But overall, Jairo, tell me about what you thought about the game and what were some good things and some bad things about it.
It was pretty good. Why was it?
What were some good things and bad things about it?
Well, the bad thing about it, in my view, is the zombies in general.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of zombies.
What about the good thing?
Yeah, so what was something good you liked about it?
That you get to keep them from getting into school. And there are certain achievements that you can get by doing certain things.
Yeah, that was a fun thing, right? So Zombie Kids is also a game that grows with you. So as you play, and you get every time you play, you get a new achievement, or you get to put a sticker. And what are the stickers made out of? What's the picture of the sticker? All the family, and all the kids. Once and all their babies are coming to school, and they're both they're into kids school, and we need to fight them. We go from both of us from we tap to anything. When I was on my team, so and Sarah was me and I was me too, and then her and then what you're on the go, and I said this there, and you can go on two, you can go on free bracelets. Yeah, that's a good point. I think even though it's a 4-player game, if you could probably have up to 8 people. Hold on, Ynez. You can actually have up to like 8 people, and you can play teams. And then as a team, you have to decide together where you want to go when it's your turn. So I know that was a fun way to play. So we and all the kids and family and kids and all the family and babies and kids and mom and dad we're going to schools. I mean, we fight them when they're going. Yeah. So, and let's let Inigo talk about the game because he wanted to say, tell me something you liked about the game, Inigo, and what didn't you like about the game?
Well, what I was going to say was what Nancy said wasn't what the stickers look like.
What are the? Oh yeah. So when you get an achievement, what do the stickers look like?
So if you do an achievement, you get a brain sticker and a trophy sticker. But if you lose, but if you win and don't do a new achievement, you get a brain sticker. But
yeah, so if you
if you lose, you still get a brain sticker. And also there's also stickers to show you what mode you're on.
Yeah, so every time you play the game, you get a brain sticker. And then if you unlock some of the achievements, you get to put a trophy sticker too. And I think at certain parts, it tells you when to open up the envelopes. And that's what's cool about this game is when you open up an envelope, it kind of changes the game. We haven't had enough time playing. Maybe we'll play tonight, and we will try to play a couple more times, and then we'll get closer to opening up an envelope and see what it says.
But we did achievement, and we did 2 achievements. I remember if we get achievement, we do 2 stickers. So and the next one was envelope sticker. So that's just getting to the envelope, not getting closer.
Yeah, so we're almost there, right at the envelope area. So tell me what you liked about the game and maybe some things you didn't like about the game.
What I didn't. Well, one thing I did like What's the stickers?
You like stickers? Yeah, I think that's a great idea for kids, especially a kids game. That the more you play, you get stickers, right? Every time it's like a reward, so that's pretty cool.
The thing I don't like about is you could only have if the rules don't change, you could only 4 zombies could be out of the skull at a time.
Even though it's pretty simple, it's still pretty challenging. So, and even Ynez, our 3-year-old, and Inigo, he's 7. They all had a pretty challenging time, and I liked it. I was getting kind of nervous too sometimes where we're getting close to losing the game, and it's a cooperative game, so it doesn't really matter who gets it first, who gets to lock the gate first. Anyone, as long as we all lock it together, and you do it together because you have to have two characters or 2 players lock each gate. So you're definitely playing together. So it's a great cooperative game. Definitely recommend it for families. So Mayumi, what did you think about the game? Tell me maybe some cool things about it. Maybe some things you really didn't like about it.
Well, overall, it was an okay game. Being kind of, I don't know, like generic, I guess, based on what I've seen. I mean, I don't play a lot of board games, but I guess it was refreshing to just sit down and play an actual board game instead of just staring at a screen all the time. Like, of course, I still love playing like video games, but it was okay to just sit down and just play something new for a while. Overall, I didn't really like the game. It was just kind of boring, I guess. Maybe it was just because I didn't play as long as all of you did. I only played like a round. But it was kind of cool where you had to like where you as more zombies went into the rooms, and sometimes you can't get into the rooms, so you'd have to pick another route. And then of course that will take more turns to like get to another place, so there's more opportunities for more zombies to get in. So I guess that was one aspect of it that I liked. There's nothing I really disliked about it though. It was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a really fun game. It was really easy to play, and they actually have a zombie teens, which I think is like a next level, like a more complex, probably challenging type of game. So we might try to get to that once we play this for a few times. But yeah, that was our review or thoughts about Zombie Kids. I guess we're not going to really rate it right now because we just started playing. But maybe after a few more episodes, we'll kind of give you our overall rating. But it's definitely something we want to continue to play, and and so that at least after playing twice, it made us want to play more. So, Zombie Kids, definitely recommend it for ages, 3 and up. And even if you're an adult or you have maybe teenage kids that maybe don't want to play Zombie Kids, there's a Zombie Teens, and I would think if it's anything like Zombie Kids, it's probably a lot of fun. All right, next we're going to go to our next part of the show. Welcome back to Gaming with the Family. This is Anime Time Talk, and we're going to talk to Jairo and Inigo about what anime they've been watching these last few weeks. And it's the same as the last episode. We are still watching Pokemon Journeys on Netflix. And Jairo, tell me where you're at. What have you been like? What season or part of Pokemon Journeys are you at? And just let us know how that show is going.
Okay, but actually, I already finished everything for Pokemon Journeys on Netflix, but I'm going to talk about part 2 today. Yeah, today. So,
So before you get started, though, sorry, just some spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, we're going to talk about that season and some of the things that Jairo likes. So just alert there. There may be some spoilers here.
So what I like about the anime is it's very interesting, and my favorite episode of part 2 is called "Kicking It from Here into Tomorrow." I like it because Score Bunny evolved and learned an early version of Pyro Ball. It's an ember that it kicked from that used a rock to kick.
And so whose Pokemon is Score Bunny?
Goes. Also, in the episode, Go and Scorbunny got closer relationship-wise.
Yeah. So in the story, Go is Ash's friend, and they're traveling around all of the Pokemon world. And Go's Pokemon is Scorbunny, which is one of the main characters from Sword and Shield. You want to say something, Inigo?
Well, Ash's goal is to battle Leon, and Go's goal is to catch every single Pokemon there is.
Yeah. And so what was your favorite episode? Do you remember what your favorite episode was in the last, the second season?
Well,
Or it doesn't have to be the second season, but can you think off the top of your head what your favorite episode was about?
Well, my favorite episode was when Ariolu went out of a Pokemon egg.
Oh, when the Riolu hatched from the Pokemon egg? That was your favorite episode?
Yes, that was one of my favorite episodes. Ariolu hatched out of an egg.
Whose Pokemon is Riolu?
Ash's Pokemon, and also Go got a Sobble.
And Go caught a Sobble as well? Yeah, and Sobble is one of the main starter Pokemon from Sword and Shield. So I would think at some point they're going to catch a Grookey, and that'll be a fun episode. Oh, do they?
But it's not on Netflix yet.
Yeah, so I know sometimes the kids watch the Japanese version, which is a little bit ahead.
We can't.
Oh, you can't watch that yet?
Because it's on Anime Ultima.
It stopped already, so I guess we can't see the ones ahead of time. But so who are your favorite characters so far in Pokemon Journeys?
Go, Satoshi, and Raboot. Satoshi?
Raboot is a Scorbunny's evolution?
Yes, facts. But that's for part 2. But in the overall series, so far it's Sonia, Go, Satoshi, and Cinderace.
And who is Sonia?
She's Professor Magnolia's granddaughter.
And she's also in the game, right?
Yes.
Okay. And has Raboot already evolved into Cinderace?
No, it evolves into Cinderace around the last few episodes of part 4.
Oh, okay. And so, Inigo, who are your favorite Pokemon and characters in the Pokemon Journeys?
Well, Satoshi is actually Ash's normal name. Ash is his dub name. And my favorite characters are Raboot, Riolu, and Pikachu. Most of the Pokemon. Well, that's all Sobble. That's mostly the Pokemon.
Yeah, and one of the episodes I saw that was pretty cute was when they caught Sobble, and I guess Sobble has a move where he cries and he makes everyone else cry.
No, it's just when he cries, he has a punch of 100 onions. Also, they encounter Sobble in the part 3.
Oh, that's in part 3, so I'm skipping ahead already?
Yes.
But you finished part 3 also.
Yes.
So you can talk about part 3 also if you want. How many
I'm
parts?
talking about part 2 today.
Okay, so next time you'll talk about part 3? Okay. Did you want to say anything else about Pokemon Journeys, Inigo?
Also, in an episode when they fight a Pokemon that could only be beaten by Station and
Zamazenta?
And then there, Raboot and Riolu evolved. Riolu evolved into Lucario, and Raboot evolved into Cinderace.
Was that season 2 or 3?
That was part 4.
Oh, so that's already on Netflix as well?
Mm-hmm. Part 5 is in now.
Oh, okay, so part 5 isn't. Yeah, so it looks like they've already watched all the seasons that are on Netflix. So we'll hear more about what's going on. And I think next episode we definitely will talk about season 3 and season 4 together. So that way we can wrap the Pokemon Journeys up. and then we'll go from there. But yeah, it's definitely pretty good. I think initially we weren't. I know I wasn't as interested because I thought the Sun and Moon episodes were pretty cool, and then this whole new thing about instead of being like at one location, they were going to travel around different locations, and there wasn't going to be like really, I guess, special Pokemon. But then they eventually did get to the Sword and Shield Pokemon with Scorbunny and Sobble and Grookey. So that's a good thing. So I was thinking that they weren't even going to be in there, and it was going to be kind of some weird, kind of weird season, kind of like the Twilight.
You thought it would just be Scorbunny, no Sobble and Grookey?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I thought they were just going to travel around and see like all the old Pokemon, but it looks. I thought it was going to kind of be like Twilight Wings and some kind of weird offshoot of a season. But it looks like they're finally tying in the Sword and Shield stuff with, with what's going on. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, the kids really like it. I know my wife and I are always kind of joking around with the names of the Pokemon. But besides the Pokemon journeys, we've also been playing Pokemon TCG. And Jairo and I have been playing recently, and Jairo got his deck. I think it's the ADP.
And it's the Zacian V deck. Except it's the Zacian Lucario Melmetal deck. But I substituted one of the Lucario Melmetals with Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus.
Yeah, so I don't remember if we added that because you didn't have the other Zacian, or if we actually decided to add the Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus to it anyway. But that's a pretty good deck, and I actually did the same. So we had bought a few of those Zacian V League Battle deck things. We had bought two of those, and then we had to go on TCG Player to buy the rest of the cards, which took a little while. But he finally got the deck that he wanted. We found that on I forgot what TCG Limitless. I think we looked at one of those decks. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was what was the name of that website? Justin Basil. So Justin Basil, Basil. He had a deck for Zacian that we copied, and then I took the League Battle deck and those cards, but I kind of made a hybrid of the ADP Zacian. ADP stands for Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, and I kind of made a hybrid of that. And I ordered another League Battle deck as well, so that we can get a few more Zacian Vs and all the Arceus, Palkia, Dialga, and put those together. But I won the first battle, the first standard battle that we played, because we like to try to follow along with the new rules, even though it's kind of pricey. But I won the first battle, and then Jairo came back and won the second battle. So we're actually tied, and we were supposed to play before we recorded this episode to see if one of us would see which deck was better, but we didn't get a chance to. So maybe we'll play sometime tomorrow or during the week, and then on our next episode we'll let you know which deck is better so far. Maybe what I'll do is I'll post our deck list on our. What I'll do is I also have a blog, and I'll post our deck list on our blog so y'all can see that sometime before the next episode. But any final thoughts on Pokemon Journeys, or do you want to say anything about the deck that you built for Pokemon TCG?
Not really, but Zacian V is a really good card.
Yeah, that's a really good card, and the only other one I think that we were thinking about possibly creating. I did create another deck, like a standard deck. It wasn't that good, so I had to put that one away. But I guess another good card is the what's the name of the Pokemon you fight at the end of the game?
Eternatus?
Yeah, the Eternatus deck. Eternatus is supposed to be pretty good. And then also they have the new Battle Styles cards coming out. And I wonder if any of those, like the Urshifu, or what's the name of the one that evolves into?
Tapu and Urshifu. There's also Calyrex.
Yeah, I wonder if Urshifu, or some other card is going to become one of the top ones. But yeah, we like keeping up with that. We kind of took a break during especially when there wasn't many of the in-person tournaments going on, but we were kind of starting to get into that before that all happened. But we like playing at home, and it for my 6-year-old, 7-year-old son, Inigo, it's probably a little him playing at this level is probably a little too hard. But I know Jairo's age, like 8, 9, 10 years old, that's like the perfect age, I think, to really play more competitively. But for Inigo, we have some of the more basic decks or cards that we play with just so he can learn. And now that he's reading a lot better, I think we'll definitely start playing some more as well. But Pokemon TCG is definitely a lot of fun. We like playing that together, and it teaches kids how to compete at a good way. So we love doing that. So what are your plans for the next couple of weeks, Jairo, in terms of what you're going to plan on watching, or any animes that you're thinking about watching in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I don't really have any plan, but I'm going to wait until the part 5 is out.
Okay, so we'll wait for part 5, and maybe in the meantime we'll talk about some other things. We watched a few Studio Ghibli movies. Inigo, any animes that you're looking forward to in the next couple of weeks?
I watch a Minecraft thing, and also I have a Sabo stuffed toy. Mayumi has a Score Bunny stuffed toy, and Jairo has a Grookey stuffed toy. Jairo's Grookey's name is Lee.
Yeah, so we're a very big Pokemon family here. We love Pokemon video games, TCG, card game, stuffed toys, manga. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the manga as well. I think Pokemon is a great franchise, very little kid friendly. So I definitely recommend it if anyone's thinking about getting into it. Yes, it is, weird little Pokemon that you catch and weird little names, but I think the company puts a lot of effort. They're very talented, and it's a lot of fun. Next up is the news. Welcome back to Gaming with the Family. We're going to talk about the news now, and really it's news, game pickups, things I've been playing recently, maybe going in a little bit more detail about things that I've been doing. First off, one of the big news events that happened recently is the PSN store on the PS3 and PlayStation Network store on PS3, Vita, and PSP is shutting down, I think, in August and September. When I heard this news, I did not own any PlayStation devices. I used to own a PS4, but I sold that, and then we got a Switch because that was something I think that was more family friendly. I do regret selling my PS4. If anyone owns a console, I would recommend just keeping it and saving it for the future. Especially in the future, you may have a family and you may want to play that, or have your kids play some of those games that you can't play anywhere else. If anyone is a fan of Radical Reggie on YouTube, he talks about video games, and he had a list of all the games you should play on the PSN store before it shuts down. So as I was watching that, I saw a couple of games that I've really been wanting to play that I'd never had a chance to. And one of those games is a game that I have been wanting to own or to find or get, and that is Suikoden 2. It's a JRPG from the PlayStation 1 era, and I really want that game. I think it's running about $250, $300, $350 right now, the physical copy. And even though I think it's worth getting, even though it's really expensive, I was thinking, well, maybe if I can get a PS3 for cheap, I can buy this game, Suikoden 2. I think it's running about $10, and maybe some other games, and I have myself a little PSN or PS1 Classic. If anyone's familiar with the PS1 Classic mini console, I looked at the games that are on it. I didn't see anything at all that I would want to play, but I do love the PS1 RPGs and the PS2 RPGs, and you can get both of those on the PSN store. So I decided, why not go and look for a PS3, a used one? I wanted a PS3 because I like playing on a bigger screen. Even though I was thinking maybe a PSP or a Vita, but I thought, you know what, let's look for a PS3. There's several models that you can get, but I decided that I was going to go with one of the original models, the fat, I guess they call them the fat boy models with the silver trim. And I was just going to go with it. I was going to, depending on the price, it doesn't matter if it was the backward compatible ones with the PS2 or if it was just any version. I did want something with more than the 40 gigabytes of memory or storage. So I was looking around on a marketplace, I think it was, and I actually saw one for $70, and I really wanted it. It came with a control, is what they told me. The picture didn't look that great; it looked pretty dirty. But you know what? I was like, I just want to get these games. I want to play them before the PSN store closes, and I can just buy them and play them, and then worry about what I'm going to do later if I want to buy maybe a nicer one or a PSP or something like that. So I got lucky. I saw one. It was $70. I asked them if they would take 60. They said sure. It took a while to get a hold of that person, like about another day, and finally we agreed on a time to meet. I went to go get it. I had to wait about 45 minutes at their house. I was like, I almost gave up. I almost texted them and said, you know what, I can't wait anymore. I'm gonna go home. The lady that was selling it was at the grocery store, and she totally forgot to meet me at her house at that time, even though she gave me her address and said, yes, I'm available. So I was just about to give up, and then she showed up, and she actually had two controllers. She gave me one that was kind of broken and cruddy, and I was like, I'm gonna have to buy a new one anyway. But then she said, oh, you know what, you left really early. I actually had another one I found, and I went back for it, and it was a really nice white controller in very good condition, perfect condition. It had some nicks and scratches on it, but the actual joysticks are like perfect. It's a DualShock 3 6-axis controller, but you know what? It works. It took the whole night to reset the computer, reset the PS3, and get it to work. Like it was from scratch. And I found I have a whole list of games that I wanted to get, but the games I ended up getting on the PSN store, and I'm going to probably get some more this weekend or during the week. Suikoden 2, of course, that was my first choice. So I downloaded that. I now own that on PS3. Red Star, it's like a shoot 'em up game that I saw reviewed, and that looks really cool. Parasite Eve, another classic JRPG. Breath of Fire 4. I think I picked the wrong one. I think Breath of Fire 5 is the better game, but it doesn't really matter. I probably won't even play that. But Vanguard Bandits, it's like a mech strategy JRPG, and Mega Man Legends 2. I like Mega Man. I've heard Mega Man Legends 2 is the better out of those games. So so I pretty much have it's not a mini, but I do have my PS1 Classic that I built myself. Not built, but on the PS3. And I'm just hoping that the PS3 that I bought lasts me, quite some time. I don't plan on playing it a long time, but what I do want to do is play Suikoden 1, which I do own, and then your memory transfers over to Suikoden 2, and then Suikoden 3, I have that game. I'll play that on the PS2 probably. Then Suikoden 4, I also actually didn't note it here, but I did get Suikoden 4 on the PSN store, so I have that on my PS3. And then Suikoden 5, I also own for the PS2, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just nervous. I'm gonna put probably a disc that I don't really care for that much into the PS3 just to make sure it works and doesn't, eat my disc. But even if it's just great for the downloaded games that I have on there, I think that was a great find, a great pickup. And anyone who's interested, if you have a PS3, if you have a PSP or PS Vita, definitely check out the JRPGs, the PS Classic games on there. There's a few more that I'm definitely interested in getting, And if you want to know more about what games those are, send me a message. Go to our Facebook page, join our Facebook page, join our Discord channel, and I'll give you some more feedback on that. But I'm just starting out, really just at this point more of a collector than a player. I don't really have as much time to play, but I think I will at some point, and I just want to make sure I have the games that I want because I know they're going to go up in price in the future. In terms of other pickups, I've been going to Goodwill, and I found a few games. I did pick up 2 Dragon Ball games. I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I've seen the anime. I'm not into that type of anime, but I did find Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. I noticed that it was produced by Funimation, which I think was like an anime studio or something like that, and it was for $1. So it does have scratches on it, but it was complete complete with the manual and the case. So it's like I can't pass it up. And I looked at prices online, and it seemed, that it was worth more than that. And Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. So I thought that was pretty cool. I always pass by the CD section thinking it's just a bunch of, music CDs, and never really realized that you can get PlayStation 1 games there, or probably other games, right? Like Sega Saturn, Sega CD, things like that. So I'm definitely going to check those sections out more often. The other game I saw Mario Party DS case, complete, which I thought was complete in box, but when I opened it, it was actually Kirby Mass Attack for the DS. I don't think I have that. We have tons of Kirby games for the Wii. I have the SNES Classic, which has Kirby games. We have some of the Switch Kirby games. I don't know if Mass Attack was on any of the collections that we have, so that's pretty cool. We'll try that one out. And then I also found Wii Sports. We have one already, but I thought we'd get another one just in case it was in good condition. It was only $4. And that one I think is still selling on eBay and for about $20 or more. But I'll probably keep it. I'm not really into flipping unless I really don't want a game. I'll get it. I'll sell it after a while. I also found some Dungeons and Dragons like trainer manuals or something like that, which I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons player either, but it's Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition Player's Handbook. I found 5 of them, and then when I looked online, they were selling for about $20 each, and I got them for $2 each. So I thought, definitely those are something that I can sell and make some of my money back from the video game collecting that I've been doing. In terms of other news, Fantasian on Apple Arcade is out. I wish I wouldn't have canceled my free month of Apple Arcade, but you know what? I have a very small iPhone 7, and I don't really think I want a game on that. So unless I end up getting an Apple TV, I probably won't play that game, even though it seems really cool. It has the diorama type of background. If anyone plays it, let me know how it is. I think, again, playing it on a small phone may not be worth it. But if you have like a MacBook or Apple TV, I'd like to know how that experience is, because I think that might be the only way it may be worth it. But I don't know if I'm willing to spend that much to just play that one game. And it's not even the whole game. I think the second part comes out later. We finally got Pokemon Home, so we downloaded that so that we could transfer Pokemon from our DSs, 3DSs, and Pokemon Go. It's $15 for a full year. Is it worth it? I don't know. I think it depends on what Pokemon you have. Incineroar is really popular. I don't think that's a legendary. So hopefully I can transfer my Incineroar from my Sun and Moon game. Then maybe it might be worth it, because I know that's one of the more powerful Pokemon in competitions, Pokemon video game competitions. So we'll see if it's worth it or not. I was trying to, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I was trying to move my Kyogre over, and you can't do that. And I guess I should have read up on that first. I'm not really too bummed about it because I think you get special stuff by just moving Pokemon into Pokemon Home. I think you also can get battle points that you can then transfer to your Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you can transfer back to Pokemon Go or transfer back to Pokemon, your old Pokemon DS games. I do have Pokemon Gold, and I also have Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum. And I wonder if there's Pokemon that I might want to transfer over, but I don't know when I'll get to play those. But right now, my son Jairo is playing Pokemon Ultra Sun, and he's really excited about moving some of those Pokemon over once he beats that game. So we'll see how that goes. But that's something that we got recently, and it's not too hard to figure out. I was a little, I thought it was going to be really complicated, but it's not too bad. So those are some of the pickups I've had. That's what I've been kind of collecting lately. In terms of other news, I don't really think there's really anything much of note that I have that I want to kind of share with everyone regarding video games or animes, anything like that. We did find a few Studio Ghibli movies at Goodwill, some really good ones, and those are usually like $2 to $3 each. So I definitely recommend going game hunting, going DVD hunting, at those places. The only other thing I wanted to mention was what I talked about with Mayumi during the Mayumi's moment was building a gaming PC. And I'm really interested in doing that because video game collecting can be quite pricey. Some of the games that I really want, Valkyrie Profile is probably number one on my list right now, and that game is really pricey. Is it as pricey as getting a gaming PC? No, but at some point these consoles probably are going to fail, and emulation, playing those older games that you cannot play anywhere else. That Valkyrie Profile isn't even on, any other console, other way to play it. The mobile version I heard is horrible. It's not worth it. I don't know if it's fixed if you were to play it on your, like a iPad or something like that with a controller. Maybe that would be better. There's a PSP version, which they say isn't as great. And then they also say if you buy the disc, if it's scratched at all, it won't play. So I was thinking about going emulation. The only thing with emulation is kind of tricky, downloading and getting those games, but you don't know if those games are going to work too. I've heard stories where people have played all the way through the end of that game and then it doesn't save, or glitches or something. I don't know if there's any best way to move forward, right, with video game collecting, especially if you want these old games. I think you may just need a couple of consoles, have a few in your back pocket in case one of them goes out. The good thing with the PSN store closing, if you bought any games on the PSN store, you could always re-download them from the PSN store. If you have a console to re-download them on, and I'm hoping at some point, if they keep moving those, if you're allowed to move those to other consoles, can I play that on PS4 or PS5? Then I think that'll be worth it, and I continue to invest in those companies. But the fact that they don't continue to move those games forward. I don't want a PS5 where I can only play maybe like 3 or 4 new games. I'd rather, spend money on the older consoles that are a little less expensive, and you can buy a bunch of games as well for the price of $500 for a new console. So that's kind of where I'm at, but it does get challenging, right? You don't have enough space to play all the games. You have to find space to store your consoles when you're not using them. Then it's really a challenge to set everything up. So just give me your feedback. What do you all think? What's the best way to go? I don't think there is a best way. I think it's just, some cases you'll have to buy the old console to play the old game. And in some cases, it's easier just to buy the new game. That's why ports are so cool. Yes, they are expensive, just to keep buying the same game over and over again for the new console. But if it's the same game and it's a really good game, and maybe they improve the graphics a bit, it's a little bit easier to play. You can fast forward. In some of the cases, you can maybe save spots. That's how I played Link to the Past. I played the first Zelda. It was really challenging on the NES, and I never really wanted to go back. But I told myself, you know what? I am going to play a Zelda game. I'm going to get through it. And luckily, I played the one on Switch online, and I was able to, use the save states. I was able to rewind and beat things that I wouldn't have been able to beat before. And even though it was a grind, I got through it and I beat the game. Was it, did I beat it, in the 100% true, fashion? Probably not. But I still felt satisfaction in getting through it. And I still love the game. I think it's a great game. It's something that I always look back on and appreciate. But if it wasn't for those comforts, those things they added to make the game easier for people with busy lives, then I probably would never have played it, and I would have missed out. So those are the types of things that are really good. But I know it's probably challenging to do that for every game. There are some games that I think they should be able to do that on. Valkyrie Profile. So we get into classic games. I think the companies really should invest and do things like that for their customers, right? They should know, like, hey, these are the games that people love. Let's keep them alive. And I think that will sell more consoles in the future, instead of people going to emulation or trying to build their gaming PC that they don't have to worry about the consoles on to provide the games that they want to play. But sorry about that long rant. Luckily, I have the means and I am able to get the games that I want and collect. Not everyone has that, and I can see probably the best way to play those games is just with your computer and emulation, and I think that's a very viable option. And maybe the way I go in the future. But yeah, if you have these old consoles, keep them, save them, have your family members, your friends play them. Those are the experiences that you don't get to play or get to have in the future. Playing on that particular console, that nostalgia, those are things that you don't experience. You're not going to experience. And they have stories behind them. So definitely keep all of those if you have any that you've purchased. I know there's a few consoles that I had a Wii at one point. I sold that. Now I have two because I bought them back used. I used to have an Xbox 360. I really regret selling that now because I have a few Xbox 360 shoot 'em up games, shmups, and RPGs. I know someone else that has one in my family, so I'm not too concerned. I know where I can go and play that, or I can borrow it from them if I want to play those games. And I used to have a PS4. At this point in my life, I'm playing mainly kids games, and in rated teen games that I don't mind my kids watching me play. So I'm not too distraught about not having a PS4, but we're looking at possibly getting one for my daughter. I think we're going to go the PC route. In the future, once my kids are older and out of the house, it would have been nice to have that PS4 and been able to play games. Now, I have to, either buy one now or wait. At some point, if the price goes to like $1 million, I'm not going to spend that money. And that's the great thing about Steam and GOG is you can get those games for cheap. Then instead of having, to say, well, let me go get a PSP so I can go play Trails in the Sky, and go find that game, which is like 100 or something. I don't even know how much it is, but I'm sure it's, over $100, and then try to find a PSP or PS Vita to play it, and then I'm starting to collect these PSP, PS Vita games that really I only wanted to play this one game on it. So that's the state of gaming for me at this point. Let me know your thoughts. If you get it, let me know if you get a chance to get any of those games from the PSN store. If you own a PS3, a Vita, or PSP, I'd like to hear what you have to say on that. And just keep gaming. If you love gaming, if you love collecting, these are things that I can share with my kids when they get older or as they want to play. They're really into the new stuff now, but I know at some point, once they kind of getting their own personalities, they start determining what kind of games they really like. We have some options here that they can play, and I'll be glad